Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video with some family members, friends, and colleagues. I definitely appreciate the support. We have news on Deeper that was supposed to star Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas. Now, I talked about this probably a month or two back. These two have been meeting up to talk about the film itself. Obviously, they're going to be co-starring in the film together, and it looked like things were going well, but the money that Tom Cruise, more than likely producing, is asking for to get this budget approved is just too high, so let's read into it. Tom Cruise's Deeper put on hold as Warner Brothers refuses the $270 million budget to get cleared, scraps plans for the shoot this month. Tom Cruise doesn't hear no very often in Hollywood, but that might be changing after Paramount backed the $400 million budgeted Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, only for it to deliver lukewarm box office returns. Cruise is now running into a wall at Warner Brothers, and Final Reckoning did not make money, ladies and gents. The project is Deeper, which was previously aiming for an August shoot. This underwater action thriller, directed by Doug Liman and starring Ana de Armas, was initially pegged by Deadline at a $200 million budget, but Cruise had been pushing for a $275 million budget. Warner Brothers gave no indication early on that the studio was getting cold feet, especially since it had already sunk money into early development of the project, including previs. However, things had suddenly changed. The studio's ceiling for the budget reportedly now stops at $230 million, and sources say they've made it clear they're not going any higher, which I think is fair. That shift left Cruise and his team scrambling to relocate the film in time for this summer shoot. Now, according to Puck's Matt Baloney, the whole thing has officially hit a wall, with Lehman looking around for other projects as his potential next film. And you know how Hollywood is, ladies and gents. People are not trying to sit on things for too long. They're trying to get on to the next check, so not surprised there. Universal was apparently in the mix to acquire Deeper, but the budget demands from Cruise and company are proving too steep at this point. Cruise was reportedly eager to get this one going, having already spent months in prep mode with Ana de Armas, which I referenced earlier, and obviously a lot of paparazzi shots have seen them together. That's all prep work, right? And I have a theory about that, by the way, I might talk about, where I think studios are actually encouraging, and PR agencies, they're encouraging these actors to act like there's some type of romantic link between each other to sell a project. But that's a talk for another day. Lehman has described Deeper as a supernatural thriller. The story follows a disgraced astronaut played by Cruise who embarks on a deep-sea mission to explore a recently discovered ocean trench, only to encounter a mysterious and dangerous force. Maybe almost something like James Cameron's The Abyss. So a very interesting concept. I think it's cool, but let's cut that budget down about $100 million. $275 million, just too much for something that's not proven. I understand the sequel fatigue, but when you're demanding this type of money for something, like we said, is not proven, obviously it's a big risk for these studios, and they're just not willing to make that risk, even if Tom Cruise is the top of the heap when it comes to starring in this film, along with Ana de Armas, who's a star in herself. And so I thought this news was very interesting. You went from having this film being in full production mode, getting cameras rolling, to just being stalled out. And this is a film that took time to even get to this point. I believe this film's pretty much been in production hell for at least a couple years, and so just another roadblock. Once again, they're gonna have to bring the budget down. I get it, it's ambitious, but too much of a risk for these big studios, and Warner Brothers has no problem funding risk. They do have some things they have to figure out as far as their financials, but Warner Brothers will definitely let people have creativity and creative control, I should say. And so just very interesting that they're shooting this one down, but we'll see what happens with Tom Cruise's and Ana de Armas's Deeper film. Like I said, seems like an interesting concept, just too hefty on the budget side. Ladies and gents, let me know what you think about this news down in the comments. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not, ring the bell for notifications to stay updated, and be safe. It is Neff signing off.